Fashion, a multi-million-pound industry, an industry that's in a constant state of change. Hemlines moving up and down, shoulders moving in and out, colours moving backwards and forwards across the spectrum. But where does it start? And where does it end? And who dictates the trends? In this programme we shall look at the fashion cycle, a cycle that is highly complex and has to react very quickly to be capable of replicating a creation that appears in the media onto thousands of hangers in stores throughout the country within days. The buying department of a large fashion store in London, where two buyers are discussing the latest range of merchandise on offer from a manufacturer and his designer.
These look the same, but they're actually substitutes. All the production will be on this cloth. Yeah, sorry, Paul.
That's very nice, Paul. Quite exciting for party wear.
Is it English cloth, Paul?
The manufacturer, Paul Frankel, says that to be a successful manufacturer, you have to be tough, resilient, and flexible. The manufacturer's designer, Angela Robson, began work as a designer 4.5 years ago, after gaining a first-class honours degree in textile design and management at Leeds University. Her particular forte is what she describes as making designer trends streetwise.
That sequin effect is new. You are the first to see it.
Oh, yeah. That's tremendous.
The buying team leader, Chris Fulger, stays abreast of the latest fashion trends by keeping a constant eye on television, magazines, and what people in the street are wearing.
I like it when it's gauged, don't you? It gives a lovely shimmering effect.
That's very good. Is there a
The
skirt
buyer,
here with that?
Pauline Lewis, joined the fashion industry 10 years ago after gaining a degree in fashion and textiles at St Martin's in London. In this programme, we shall look at the variety of career paths offered by this industry and highlight the challenges and opportunities of working in fashion. So how does the buyer decide which clothes are going to sell best? A whole range of queries must be answered. Is the cloth right? What about the colour? The quality? Would it have more impact with a belt? If so, what is the price difference? What is the earliest delivery date? Can the order be fulfilled earlier if different cloth is used? Or can a percentage be delivered early? Not the simple transaction one might have thought. Chris and Pauline meet with manufacturers continuously. After careful preparation and negotiation, a meeting is arranged where a manufacturer may show as many as 20 different outfits for the buyer's approval. Besides the obvious parameters of quality and price, how do they make their decisions from the vast selection of garments on show?
Well, of course, you're always applying past history. And when I say history, it could be last week, it could be last month. So you have a lot of ideas in your mind before you see the garments, and when you see maybe 20 garments on a rail, you can very easily dismiss 15 as being the wrong shape, being the wrong cloth, from things that you've tried and tested before. So it's up to you really to know the market so well that you have all of that crammed into your mind before you see the garment. So when you actually choose the garment to be tried on, you've really chosen it from a commercial point of view. And if it meets all those parameters, then you start discussing price. But it's a build-up of history, of aesthetic value, and commerciability, really. I think the three go hand in hand, and if one's missing, then you may as well reject the garment.
And there's the new colours they've got coming in are an emerald green and a bronze, which is super.
Angela Robson always wanted to be a designer. You have a choice in the designing line. You can either set out to become an exclusive name designer, making one-off creations, or else follow a path that caters for the mass market. What made Angela choose the latter?
It's lovely to see a group of girls go past in a street and to think, oh, they look nice. Wow, they're wearing some of my designs, either my shirt or the trousers that started in my sketch pad, and I've gone through working out the fabrics, this, that and the other. But the great joy of seeing these young girls go past in clothes I've designed, I can't really ask for much more.
Tina, would you like to try these garments on?
Watch your head. Okay, I think we might as well sit down now.
Right, thanks.
So how have things been, Angela?
We've been quite busy actually, which is rather nice, lots of repeat business.
One of the most critical negotiating areas between manufacturer and buyer is the delivery date. Companies like Paul sell their stock to several different retail outlets at the same time. He specializes in high fashion items, where retailers need a 2 or 3 week turnaround. Paul likens it to living on a knife edge. You're only as good as your next design, and any complaints regarding quality stop with the manufacturer.
It's £9.95.
But you said it wasn't expensive, Paul.
It's an expensive fabric, but if you compare it with the metallic, the snake skin or the lames, I really think that for what it is, it's justifiable. I mean, even once you do your markups, you know.
Well, let's hear the other price of the skirt.
Wow.
Yes.
Can you see it right, Chris?
Yeah, it's fine.
Do you like the idea of the bow at the back on the skirt and the front on the top?
You could wear that top with the bow at the back, in actual fact.
Oh, so you can reverse.
Yes, you can.
Modelling is a career that has a lot of appeal for a lot of girls, but only a very few make it as a full-time model in the fashion world. Sometimes it's possible to combine a good figure and model training with office and clerical skills in the way that Tina Davis does. She provides the buyers with an opportunity to assess clothes being worn, but she also works as part of the buying operation, providing all the office support to Chris and Pauline.
And what about the length of the skirt, Pauline?
Well, actually, I wouldn't mind if Angela could manage it to do a couple of miniskirt versions, because
Chris spent his early working years in local government. When he decided it was time for a complete change, he headed for the area he knew most about, retail. His parents owned a shop, and he had got a fair insight into the business.
The first thing I think you've got to be is a good communicator. You've got to be able to get on with people because you're working with people all the time. You've got to have a reasonably young outlook. You must keep in touch with what's going on, not only in the fashion world, but the peripheral part of the fashion world, which is the pop scene. Obviously, you must be numerate. It's very important in terms of working out prices with manufacturers.
It's actually coming out at £8.60.
I'm seeing a couple of...
In large organisations, buyers travel abroad several times each season. Chris explains the reasons for these trips.
You get a flavour of the international scene basically by going to different countries of the world and, if possible, communicating with people who are in the same business as you, that's retailing fashion. And then you go out onto the street, you look at the way people are dressed, you go into the stores to see what sort of presentation is being made by the stores, the types of garments they're selling, the colours they're selling, and you can even get into conversation with people in those stores, perhaps the sales assistants who will pass on information to you as to what they're selling well, what they're expecting to see in the next couple of months. And again, it's communication with people who are working in the fashion environment.
Classification, which probably means that today we'll have to look at what's not selling in the department and possibly cutting down the space given over to any classification. I'm thinking particularly about dresses. Good dresses aren't doing very well, and we could cut down the space and give it over to perhaps to party wear, which is coming in now. Yes? Okay, so we'll pick up on that point later on.
In a fast-moving world like fashion, every day presents something new for those at the selling end. In this store, the day begins with a briefing for the showroom staff from their departmental manager, Vivian Clements. Vivian first came into contact with the fashion scene while she was still at school. She took a Saturday job and decided she would pursue a career in fashion when she finished her education. After A-levels in English, French and history, she graduated in English at the University of Kent and joined her present company. Vivian tells us what she enjoys about the job.
What I found the job has given to me is extreme confidence in being able to deal with people, and it's coping with the decisions that have to be made on a daily basis, which always gives you quite a thrill anyway, dealing with the problems that come to hand, the decisions that have to be made, choices, making organisational decisions, etc. But within that, it's always the interaction of people and the relationship you build up with both staff and customers that I particularly, enjoy. Yes, I think you're right. Good morning. Will you excuse me, ladies?
I've just been going through the latest departmental newsletter.
Yes.
And it looks now as if we're going to have to change the emphasis slightly and start
Fine.
to promote coordinates a little more. If we're really going to do that, I think we're going to have to change some of the locations. Carefully goes past.
Store manager Wayne Pearce has received a brief from the marketing department on the promotion of a new look for the coming season. There are a number of decisions to be taken. The level of impact, the size and type of display, how it will blend with the rest of the merchandise in the department, the resources required, and the time needed. One thing is certain, the fashion scene waits for nobody, and the display must be complete within the day. Wayne's first contact with fashion came at the age of 16, when he took a Saturday job in a local menswear shop. He liked the work and decided on it for a career. After getting A-levels in English, French and history, Wayne went to Ealing Polytechnic, where he graduated with a BA in Modern European Studies.
At that time we were in the throes of joining the European community, so I thought having a language or furthering my studies in a language would be a useful thing to do. The economic side of it was the safeguard in that I thought it was a fairly good basis for any career that I might wish to follow later.
Well, fine, I'll see
Could you look
that.
after that for me?
Yes, I'll see Miss Beaver that
Okay.
straight away.
Okay, see you later.
Fine.
Thank you.
Vivian Clements manages an entire department, and this project is only part of her work for the day, which also includes staff motivation and training, recruitment and welfare. As Vivian explains, it's a demanding job.
I think you must always accept with retailing that you must look on it as not just a career, but as part of your life. You have to devote a lot of your own time and energy, and if you are very keen on your own social life, to a certain extent that has to be sacrificed.
Vivian's team get their briefing, but what kind of training do they have to enable them to carry it out effectively?
We train staff in both off the showroom training, where we show them perhaps some videos of how to use the equipment and how to lay out the merchandise. And we follow that up very much with practical experience on the showroom under supervision. All right. Okay then. Can I leave that with you today? Okay, fine.
Chris Gerodiokonou is the showroom leader. She's responsible to Vivian for the look of the entire department, the merchandise and the deployment of staff. Her job also involves responsibility for training. The job is not a soft option.
Well, it is hard work. I don't think people realise how hard the work is. Being on your feet all day is very, very hard. The other problem is working unsociable hours, really. You have to do late nights, you have to do Saturdays. You really got to be open when other people are not working, which is disadvantaged socially.
Chris originally worked as a hairdresser in a large department store. She began helping out in the fashion area, found that she preferred it, and switched. And despite the hard work, she enjoys it.
I love working with people. I like dealing with the customers, and I love dealing with the stock. I like putting stock out. That is really the job that I do. The paperwork side of it isn't as interesting to me as the actual merchandise side of it. That side of it I enjoy very much.
Lisa Hands got 5 O-levels and started training as a nurse. After a year, she decided she wasn't suited to that type of work and joined her present company with the youth training scheme. Now she is a showroom assistant.
And I haven't looked back since. I went into the retail trade really because I wanted a job where I would be on the move quite a lot and I wouldn't be sort of sitting in an office all day, and I wanted to be meeting people as well. We've had display training, cash office, we have actual cash training, customer relations, and we learn packing procedures. So really we learn everything from start to finish.
I don't mind what colours you choose.
Perhaps if we used something like this and
Yeah, let's go and have a look.
navy, perhaps navy with the cream.
Yes, that's fine.
Quite
That's
dark,
fine.
but I could lift it with beads or something, perhaps,
Lovely.
and pearls.
Yeah.
Make it look quite
Okay.
bright that way.
Can I leave you to get on with?
Yeah, okay,
Fine,
thanks.
thanks.
Lindsay Beard is a display assistant. She will present the new merchandise in an eye-catching way to ensure maximum impact on the customer. To achieve this, she will use models and display panels and employ all the skills she acquired while studying for her British Display Certificate at the Cassio College in Watford. The job looks very glamorous.
I wouldn't say it's glamorous as such. It's the creativity of it all that I find most exciting. It's the fact that you can get a range of stock in which perhaps looks quite nice, but which isn't going to sell just off the hanger. It's quite a vigorous physical job. There's a lot of hammering and a lot of stapling, lifting heavy models about. It is a very involved job, and I think you need to be quite fit and quite strong to do it. It's just getting the feel of getting into your job and creating something which in the end you can stand back and look at and think, yes, I've done a good job, that looks nice.
Men's fashions also play an important part in today's society. Style, colour, material, they all combine to create a multi-million-pound industry, an industry which offers careers to thousands of young people like Nick Stinton.
Morning, Nick.
Hello.
Had a very good weekend on Avanti.
Oh yes, we've been doing very well, particularly on the pullovers.
Yeah. Why do you think that suddenly they've taken off?
Well, I think it's the colour coordination on the core, actually. It seems to have helped no end, yes.
Yeah. I noticed these trousers.
Nick has been a trainee merchandiser for just 3 weeks. His A-levels were all in the sciences. So why did he choose fashion retail for a career?
People find it strange that I went into retailing having done 3 science A-levels, chemistry, physics and biology. The main reason is I had a Saturday job working for a department store, and this gave me a chance to work in a wide range of departments to give me an insight into the field. When I went away to college, I used to come back during my vacations and work for the department store. So this gave me 4 or 5 years experience at working in the retail industry.
Okay.
At the Bolton Institute of Higher Education, Nick studied psychology and finds it a good background for a people business like fashion.
Actually, having a psychology degree helps enormously in the fashion retail trade. The vast majority of selling goods isn't just a matter of presenting them on units, it's working out where you want to put them and where people are going to come to look at them. You're actually trying to sell them a range of coordinated goods. It's not just a matter of trying to get them to buy one jumper. You're looking for them to buy a pair of trousers to go with it, a belt, a tie, a shirt. So you're trying to sell them a range like this. Also, psychology helps in dealing with people because it actually allows you to have an understanding of the way they look at things. You're not just looking at things from your own point of view.
The display assistant's type of creativity is very public. When Lindsay has completed a display, it's there for all the customers to see. Visual impact plays a big part in selling fashion, and Lindsay's motivation is geared directly to customer reaction.
No, I think that should be good. It'd be interesting to see how it goes on Saturday, but I think it looks tremendous.
Yeah.